How's it going, everyone? My name's JJ and welcome back to another Pokémon Journeys episode review. And I'll tell you what, this week's is so much better than last week's episode, because last week's episode was trash. It was rubbish. Let's all be honest. We wanted to see Leon versus Diantha, but we got to see these two children looking for each other, which had nothing to do with the main storyline, and we would have all much rather seen Leon versus Diantha, but no, we had to see these two children, which we weren't really happy with. But luckily, we've got the start of something good this time. We've got Cynthia taking on Ash, the champion of Sinnoh, taking on the champion of Alola. And I'll tell you what, it's a very, very good episode. So without further ado, let's get into this episode. So the episode opens up with a little recap of Leon versus Diantha. Well, when I say little recap, it was only the Charizard and Gardevoir fights that we saw, so that's the only bit that they covered, which, again, we would have liked to see a lot more. While Ash is in the tunnel getting ready for the battle, he puts on his Mega Stone, his Z-Ring and Dynamax Band. Well, on the other side of the field, we've got Cynthia, and Cynthia bumps into Diantha and they start talking, and Cynthia ends up saying that she's going to retire from battling after this tournament, which is a bit of a surprise because Cynthia is one of the best trainers in the whole of the Pokemon world. I mean, she's ranked 2 in the Masters 8, and for her to retire, it makes me think, who's going to be the champion of Sinnoh next? Is Paul going to take that up? Is Tobias going to step in? Be interested to see what they do with that storyline. Anyway, Ash and Cynthia head out onto the battlefield. Ash sends out his Dragonite while Cynthia sends out her Spiritomb. And I mean, this Spiritomb is looking mean. I mean, it's laughing at Ash and Dragonite. It's laughing at Ash the whole time. Anytime Dragonite sends up a moon, it's laughing. I'll tell you what, Dragonite tries its best to land an attack, but the Spiritomb is like it can't get hit, and anyway, it ends up putting Dragonite to sleep using Hypnosis, and then it uses Dream Meter to just drain away at its energy. I think it does it about 3 times, and you can really tell that Dragonite is not getting up from that, and it doesn't because it gets knocked out, which means Ash has already lost a Pokemon, and it basically did no damage to Spiritomb. It sent up a Draco Meteor, but I don't know how many of them meteors actually landed on Spiritomb. I don't think any of them did. So Cynthia hasn't lost any HP on that Spiritomb, while Ash has already lost a Pokemon. And Dragonite is easily one of Ash's better Pokemon, and it's already out of the battle. And it was a big surprise. Yeah, I thought Dragonite would do a lot more than what it did. But hey, that just shows how powerful Spiritomb and Cynthia actually are. Ash's next Pokemon he sends out is Gengar. Well, Cynthia swaps from Spiritomb to Roserade. And thankfully, Gengar has done a little bit better than Dragonite because it lands a move, it lands a Will-O-Wisp, which means Roserade is now burnt. However, Cynthia's not going to stand for that because she swaps Roserade back and sends out Spiritomb again. So with Cynthia swapping to Spiritomb, it means it's Ghost type against Ghost type. And it also means that I think both moves will be super effective if they land. Now, Spiritomb keeps going for this move. It's called Surprise Attack, but I don't know if that's its English name or if that's a translation to its English name. I've never heard of Surprise Attack, but I think it's a move that can go first. Spiritomb goes for this move while Gengar tries to go for a Magical Shine, but unfortunately, it doesn't really do anything because Spiritomb's move, again, can hit first. So it hits Gengar and taking it out of the battle, though Gengar did try its best to try and stand up. But that's mean that Ash has lost 2 Pokemon pretty much back to back. I mean, at least Gengar did a bit better than Dragonite. It sent up a Will-O-Wisp and hits Roserade. So we'll have to see later on if that impacts that battle with Roserade. But yeah, Ash has lost 2 of his best Pokemon, while Cynthia has barely taken any damage whatsoever. And with Ash losing these 2 Pokemon, everyone is worried. You can see all of his Pokemon and his mum and Professor Oak all the way back in Kanto are all watching this, a bit worried what's going to happen. Go's worried, even Team Rocket are surprised and worried for Ash. But nevertheless, Ash sends out his ace Pokemon, Pikachu. Cynthia then swaps out Spiritomb for Togekiss. Togekiss managed to land a couple of moves, and then Cynthia again swaps it out for Gastrodon. I mean, how many swaps are we going to see? We've had 2 Spiritomb swaps, we've had a Roserade swap, a Togekiss swap, and now we've gone into a Gastrodon. I mean, she's playing it very, very clever, very smart, but hey, she's got a strategy and it seems to be working. Both Pikachu and Gastrodon stare each other down, they launch a couple of moves, but Gastrodon eventually goes for a Stone Edge, but Pikachu managed to slice through the Stone Edge with Iron Tail, and again with the Iron Tail hits them back at Gastrodon, a bit like a rock throw, getting the rocks and just throwing them at your opponent. That's what Pikachu does, and then Pikachu goes for a quick attack, shoots into Gastrodon, and takes it out, which means Ash has taken down 1 of Cynthia's Pokemon. Gastrodon is out, and Pikachu is victorious of this round. And yes, throughout that whole battle, Cynthia was surprised that Pikachu could slice through these moves. And I mean, I was sat here surprised as well. I didn't think that Pikachu would really have much chance because it is electric type. Well, Gastrodon is a ground type, so you know how that goes. But yeah, good job Pikachu, good job Ash. However, with Gastrodon gone down, it means Cynthia sends out her Spiritomb again. Yay! 3rd time gets to see Spiritomb. But I'll tell you what happens next made me smile, made me very, 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 very happy. Because Pikachu goes for Counter Shield. Counter Shield is a move that Ash and Pikachu invented while they were traveling around in Sinnoh. And that was in Season 13. Bear in mind, we're in Season 24 now. So it was quite a long time ago. In fact, I believe they invented it in 2010. I mean, bear in mind, we're in 2022 now, so 12 years ago, they did this move, and yeah, it just put a big smile on my face to see that Counter Shield has returned, and it works, because Spiritomb sent out a Hypnosis, and it basically did nothing, because Counter Shield was just, like, defending Pikachu. It then goes for an Electro Web, trapping Spiritomb inside of its web, and then goes for an Iron Tail. However, Spiritomb does something very sneaky. It goes for Destiny Bond just before the move hits. Destiny Bond is a move, for if you don't know, if a Pokemon gets taken out, it basically takes its opponents with it. Pikachu using Iron Tail to take Spiritomb out. Spiritomb goes for Destiny Bond, it means it takes Pikachu out of the battle as well. And I'll tell you what, this move, it looked very, very, very scary. I mean, I was very surprised that it showed Pikachu looked like it was in so much pain when this Destiny Bond was happening. But yeah, that's what Destiny Bond does. Pikachu goes down and Spiritomb goes down, and that is where the episode ends. So Cynthia has lost 2 Pokemon, while Ash has lost 3. So we'll just have to see how much damage Lucario, Sirfetch'd and Dragovish can actually do to Cynthia's still really powerful team. But there we go, what are my thoughts on this episode? I really, really, really enjoyed this episode. A lot better, in fact, miles, a million times better than last week's episode. I really enjoyed Spiritomb, although Spiritomb was very, very creeping, the fact that it was laughing and it was just super, super strong. It did make me have so many surprises, especially when it took down Dragonite, took down Gengar, like it was nothing. But yeah, that was a really, really great part of this episode. And the fact that Ash looks completely useless in this battle. Ash is normally one of the top tier trainers of this Masters 8 tournament, and he basically couldn't do anything, couldn't touch Cynthia. Another thing that I really, really, really liked about this episode was Counter Shield. Again, I've just talked about it a couple minutes ago, but yeah, very, very happy to see Counter Shield returning. And one of my biggest surprises about this battle, it means that, well, Pikachu's out, which means he can no longer use the Z move. Gengar's out, which means that Ash can't Gigantamax it, which means we're left with Mega Lucario, so I feel like we're going to see a Mega Lucario in the next episode. But yeah, what rating would I give this? I would give this episode a 10 out of 10. That's right, we're back to 10 out of 10 episodes. It was surprising, it was full of action. It actually made me worried for Ash that he could end up losing this. And it was good to see the return of Counter Shield and the fact that Spiritomb was just super, super powerful. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this episode. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. Let me know down below in the comments what you thought about this episode. Let me know what you thought about Counter Shield, the fact that Gengar and Dragonite got taken out so easily. What do you think of Spiritomb? And with that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week with a continuation of Cynthia versus Ash. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you then.